Hey, good morning, Motivational Drive by Coco here. Today's quote is going to surprise you. First I'll tell you the quote, then I'll tell you who said it. God gave women intuition and femininity. Used properly, the combination easily jumbles the brains of any man I've ever met. Farrah Fawcett. There's a woman who I'm sure was a lot more than she lit off. Once again, the quote is, God gave women intuition and femininity. Used properly, the combination easily jumbles the brain of any man I've ever met. Yeah, wow, right? Also, women who have ingenuity and intelligence scare the hell out of most men, so consequently that's a whole nother issue, and I have fun with that aspect of things. But in this case, it's hard to argue with Farrah in this case. You know, beauty, intelligence, all of that. People are easily befuddled. Especially, I have found that a lot of people prejudge others. You know, not just women. You know, but yeah, you see an attractive blonde. You know, there's that whole all the blonde jokes. I don't know. I know a lot of blondes, and most of them are incredibly intelligent women, more so than you might think. You know, they make the joke about the blonde things because it's kind of a fun excuse to do something. You know, we all do dumb stuff. If you're blonde, you get to say, "Oh, I had a blonde moment." You know, it's kind of a funny thing, but you know, it's a tool, and it's a tool that can be very successfully used. There are a lot of people out there who are brilliant enough to take full advantage of every tool they have. A beautiful woman who's intelligent, I learned years ago to not prejudge people. I walk into classrooms all the time, and I see every potential combination. I see Mexican kids, I see black kids, I see white kids, I see pierced kids, I see tattooed kids, I see kids with spiky hair, I see kids with no hair. I stopped looking at people and judging them a long time ago because every single time I prejudged somebody, I was wrong. And it amuses me because I see people prejudge. I see kids judging others by their appearance. I think it's amazing when they're proven wrong. When, you know, one of these people that they've judged as somebody not worth having anything to do with, it turns out to be an amazing person and winds up saving the day. And you know, I think Farrah's quote is pretty much that whole thing where, you know, people saw her, she was beautiful, she had this big fluffy hair, she, you know, people underestimated her. But I've seen interviews with her, I have read some of the things she's written, I've seen her artwork, and she had a way more on the ball than anybody ever gave her credit for. And I think a lot of people have that opportunity. I think some people hide behind stereotypes and hide behind situations like that so they don't have to perform at their highest level of ability. And that's tragic. That's unimaginable and unexcusable. Like I always say, you know, everybody's goal in life is to be a better person tomorrow than you are today. And you know, my goal is that today I'm a better man than I was yesterday, and I know tomorrow I'll be a better man than I am today. And it's baby steps. It's maybe smaller than baby steps, but it's something that's important to me. And it may be something that you may want to redirect, and maybe the first thing you could do is don't look at somebody and prejudge them. Walk up and say hello. God, I love it when people walk up and say hello. Most people are afraid to walk up and say hello. So that's your goal for today. Walk up to somebody new you've never met, never talked to, and intimidates you. That's the thing. Somebody who intimidates you, walk up and say hello. You know, be it if you're a nerdy guy and you walk up to the most beautiful woman you see all day and you see her every single day, walk up and say hello. If you're, you know, if there's somebody that intimidates you, you know, be it, you know, if it's somebody who doesn't speak good English, or if you don't speak good English, don't speak well. Anyway, and there's somebody who you feel has a problem with you. Or if you're, you know, I don't know, I mean, there's hundreds of scenarios. Push that envelope. Try it today. One time, walk up to somebody that intimidates you and say hello. That's all. And that may be all you have to do. First of all, their brain may fry, and they may say, and they may not get it, or they, you know, I'll guarantee if you look them in the eye and say hi, and maybe even say your name. Hi, my name is, you know, hi, my name is Coco. They're gonna go, or maybe not, or maybe they'll, you know, maybe they've been hoping, maybe they're afraid of you, maybe they're intimidated by you. Wouldn't that be interesting? You know, you're tattooed and pierced, and there's some very, you know, straightforward, you know, shirt and tie kind of guy, and he's intimidated by you, and you're intimidated by him. You know, how funny would it be? You walk up, you say hello, and you find out you've got a million things in common other than the piercing and the clothing, and you become best friends. I mean, stranger things have happened. Ponder that. Try it. Do it today. In the course of your day, walk up to somebody that intimidates you and say hello. And if it goes well, then do it again and keep doing it every day. I mean, you have nothing to lose. You have absolutely nothing to lose. As always, have the most stupendous, amazing, fantastic day of your life. Coco out.